the message that I wanted to put across was that even in very difficult times, it doesn't matter whether Janet Yellen's going to raise rates. It doesn't matter whether Abe, who's the Japanese Prime Minister, is going to take another arrow out of his quiver, or whether Draghi is going to increase stimulus, worries about Brexit. There are a whole lot of issues that are troubling the world, but ignoring that, there are companies that are still doing very well. There are companies that don't read the headlines or making the headlines. And a lot of these are technology companies, such as Facebook, such as Amazon, such as Tencent, such as Google. There are many, many more that are doing incredibly well in a growth environment. In fact, they are creating a new kind of growth. So I think we've got to get beyond the traditional way of looking at markets, look at businesses. There's so many other areas in the pharmaceutical area. There's just so much excitement around the world that we're tending to ignore, and that's the message I wanted to bring. Look at companies who are making their own headlines. It's exceptionally difficult. It's exceptionally difficult because you're in a no-growth environment. So in a no-growth environment, it's very hard for consumer companies and banks to really prosper. Most of these companies are making money now by cutting back on costs and being very cautious. We've also had commodity prices that have come down quite dramatically because of the Chinese slowdown. That's hurting so many of our big miners as well, who now have to operate on half the commodity prices that they were realizing 5-10 years ago. So it is a difficult environment, but the one thing I must hand out is that the private sector always tries. They never give up and they keep battling. But as a market, it's difficult. The opportunities have to be outside of South Africa. There are opportunities in South Africa. There are a lot of smaller businesses that we monitor. They're tiny, but they're trying very hard. They're doing well, whether they're in technology, whether they're in the consumer space. I think companies like Famous Brands, Discovery, Bidvest, Bidcore, all trying. But I think for real growth, you're going to have to go outside of South Africa. And I'm making a business decision. This is not a political decision.